people. Hola, friends and foes. It's your favorite crazy middle-aged blonde and her living on the edge of death pug. It definitely doesn't seem like he's living on the edge of death when he's eating. He's like a fucking puppy. If only he would not injure himself. That is a little bit. He's old. I was looking up nail discoloration. It looks like a little bit of something forming on the inside. And I called it red. It isn't really red though, because then I saw some examples of paws nails that were really red. You know, anything. You know, he's old. We always have to take that into account. He might be experiencing a little bit of nail trauma, and nothing seems to be painful for him. You know, he doesn't seem to be affected, so it might just be old age. The nipple was definitely trauma. I'm putting Neosporin ointment. I keep wanting to say benzoyl peroxide for some reason. That's for pimples. How's this nipple doing, baby? How's it doing? It's getting better. It's getting better. It was looking all huge and red, but now we know that that's not, you know, cancer. It's just him doing that from getting agitated in his pen. Fortunately, he mostly sleeps. Fortunately, it's few and far between that I have to leave him alone. Particularly if my mom and I are going somewhere and we have to leave him alone. That's not good, but what are you gonna do, you know? Gotta do it. Not for a super long time. I'm afraid to even leave him alone for a super long time, like my mom and I have done when we have to go far for her, you know, her podiatrist appointment, but she hasn't been complaining about her foot hurting her, but she needs her nails cut. Even her doctor asked about her nails, and I'm like, yeah, we're working on getting her a pedicure. But even when we go and get her a pedicure, it's going to be, you know, a little bit of time. Because we're making a day of it, a little bit, but a day of it is not all day. But still, I will be worried about him. Best I could do is what I do even when I leave him alone and have my mom here, you know, watching him, but loosely. I use that word loosely, just making sure he doesn't go upside down or whatever, but this morning I went to bed late. Oh, at least I was cleaning and stuff, but he wouldn't go poo-poo, so I thought he was going to wake me up at any moment. And he didn't. It's a miracle. But then after he did go with his poo-poo at 7 in the morning, I needed to sleep because I had only gone to bed since 5, so I'd only slept a couple hours, see. He'd slept all before that. So I got to sleep like a couple hours before he had to wake me up, which I knew that would happen. Well, I knew it would be 15 minutes. That's happened too. The moment I shut my eyes practically. But then he was agitated. He's not time for him to eat. I hadn't made him any food anyway. So I got him, and he was still fidgeting in my arms, but I got him to sleep beside me. And he slept beside me for a good 5 hours, so that's good. that yummy sweet boy. I don't even know if this is getting all of me. It might not be. Maybe I should move back. I'm like cutting off the top of my head. It's video. I don't like when that happens. I still upload the video because I'll upload all videos. Bad, good, and everything in between. That's what my channel is. I don't censor. I love Mr. Puck. Put another puck in the jukebox, baby. Is that yummy? Yeah, I didn't feed his last meal super late like I've sometimes done. I gave him his last meal at about 10:30, 11, whatever. In any case, he slept. It was a miracle. Miracle, he slept. If I had gone to bed, I would have been sleeping at the same time as him. It would have been great, but unfortunately I did not go to bed. But I was doing some important things. I was doing my cleaning. I cleaned the dishwasher with vinegar and baking soda. I created a couple of short videos. There's lots of videos I have not released publicly because I have to watch them. I always have to watch them just to make sure there's one that, just to make sure there's not something accidentally in the background that I don't want you to see. I have to trim the video. I always want to watch them just to see what they are, And sometimes I get overwhelmed by other stuff and I get behind, and right now is one of those times. There's several videos that I have not released publicly. Several. I think there was like 8, and then I finally watched a couple and released them. When I release them, you might think that they're from recent, but they could be from as much as a week ago or more, But so what? It doesn't matter. You don't need to know my exact life and the exact days, I didn't investigate yet online, because first it said 7 people in 9 days. Then it said 7 people just this month, but I think it's probably the 7 people in the 9 days. Panama City, Florida or something or other, something like that. It's the deadliest beach ever. And it said on Inside Edition 7 people drowned in 9 days. And if that's not right, it's probably close enough. One of those people was Tom Brady's former, right-hand man quarterback or something or other. Somebody, Mother Nature doesn't discriminate. Doesn't discriminate between the regular peons and the rich and famous, or the rich and whatever. Not that he was rich, famous and rich like Tom Brady, but all sports people make a lot of money. To varying degrees of well off to filthy rich, depending. Bottom line is, he was in his 30s, dead, drowned. It's a riptide thing, and I'm going to investigate, but it at first Inside Edition a few days ago said 7 people in 9 days. And then they said 7 people just this month, but I tend to believe it's obviously 9 days is just this month, but I don't know that it was even spread out over 30 days. I think it might have been 7 people drowning in 9 days. But maybe it's 7 people got caught up in that, but not all of them died. Could be that, I don't know. Or it could be 7 people died in 9 days. The bottom line is, how fucking unbelievable. It's riptide, but people, there are warning signs. The warning signs say, if it's two red something or other up there, don't swim, period. The woman who lost her husband, right? The Inside Edition people didn't mince words. The woman who was interviewing Inside Edition reporter, she said, it said don't go in. Why'd you go in? Oh, well, it was really hot. Yeah, now you don't have a husband, and if you have kids, they don't have a father. I mean, you know what I mean? Although if they had kids, I think they were in their 60s. I think the kids would be grown. But nonetheless, if you don't heed warnings and you end up perishing or getting seriously injured, in this case he's dead, and their excuse was, we ignored the warnings, we only went up to our knees, and I guess both of them, she survived and her husband died. Okay, I believe that's what happened. It was really hot, okay, but now he's dead. Now, if it's a one thing, if it's 2, you don't go in no matter what. They know that it's going to be bad. If it's a one thing, they say you can go in, but only up to your knees. Don't go swimming. And people don't heed that, okay? So people are dying in this riptide, okay? And also it's putting lifeguards in danger because they have to rescue people. People aren't heeding the warnings and they're dying. It's now known as the deadliest beach ever or something. It's like unbelievable, and it's in Florida. Isn't that awful? People don't heed the warnings. People are just, not me. Not me, believe me. I heed warnings. I'm proactive. I predict things that might happen. And when I take risks, I'm fully aware that I could die at any moment. And I don't do that, and you know what I mean, in my younger days. As some of you know, they were not the skydiving or you know. But everything's a risk. I told you about that kid who got bitten by the alligator. His friends and he and his friends were swimming in that thing, and he didn't know there was going to be an alligator. Right? And his friend, any of them could have gotten eaten by the alligator and hurt, had their arms or legs ripped off. If it's somewhere where there are gators, you just never know when they could pop up. There's another one where nothing happened to the guy, but he was at the water's edge and a smaller gator, it looked smaller on the TV, I don't know, than some of them, but he started chasing them. And I was telling Joe about, Inside Edition and 2 different things where it wasn't a grizzly. Joe's like, it must have been a grizzly. It wasn't. Black bears usually don't attack unprovoked. It was a black bear. I forget which state, but in one instance, the black bear came up to the guy who was having his morning coffee outside or whatever, but he survived. He realized the bear was there, made noise, did something, and scared the bear away. But in the other instance, the guy was killed. And if he didn't, they're saying that there was nothing around that would have lured the bear, no food, no nothing. So Joe was shocked by that because he said it must have been a grizzly, and it was a black bear, because black bears are usually don't attack humans unless they're starting to not be afraid of humans or something or other. I don't know. They don't generally attack humans unless provoked. People do all kinds of fucking weird shit. It's a national park. I don't know if it's Yellowstone, where this guy. He was provoking something. You're not supposed to go near the animal, whatever it was, a giant animal, and it was a bison, or it was and he was provoking something that was there. Might have been a bison, and he was getting way too close to it, and it could have charged him and killed him. They're looking for him because it's against the law what he was doing, and he was doing it to get views, just like anything, you know. People will do the craziest fucking shit just to upload it to online, and sometimes it's the last thing you end up doing. There are cases where people fall over things to their death because they're trying to get a good photo, you know. Like where they're on the edge of a cliff or a waterfall, or, you know, deadly this or deadly that, and they end up slipping and falling, and, you know. I'm not a risk taker. I said I used to engage in self-destructive behavior, and that could have led to very bad things, and it did, just once in a while, just not so that I'm not here talking to you, you know. I survived. So I did not escape my self-destructive phase unscathed, to say the least. To say the least. I'm not going to get into it now. Some of you are aware of it. It ain't pretty. Is that good, sweet boy, huh? No, he and I have slept so much. He's slept so much, he probably won't sleep at all. I'll just have to keep checking on him, make sure he's not screaming and upside down, or sideways, or kicking, or whatever. Taking a little break, sweet boy. Taking a little break. So you digest your food. As I said, weirdest shit I see on Inside Edition. Most bizarre shit. Man in Newton who broke into the basement window and slaughtered his elderly neighbors on Sunday when they were the husband and wife were about to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. And apparently her 97-year-old mother lived there with them. And cameras weren't allowed in the court, and he, of course, I mean, he has to be held. He was held without bail. Maybe he's going to be sent to be evaluated in a mental hospital in the area. It is a pet peeve of mine when you hear about something like that. Then you have that woman who was his good friend for a long, long time saying This is a failure of the mental health system. He's a gentleman. I guess that's a pet peeve of mine. Getting like that, getting manic, getting whatever. I mean, it can definitely, but it's mostly doesn't happen. Not to that extent where you know, slaughter your neighbors. But I've used the term, you know, my mom can get, I'll tell for the professionals when my mom winds up in mental health stuff, and I'll tell the social workers, nurses, doctors, you know, treating her, whatever, I'll be like, my mom, you know, she's the nicest person when she's not sick, because it is true. She's the nicest, gentlest person. And she can get belligerent and spitting and swearing and you know, she can get a little vicious. But that's not the same as turning homicidal, you know. In the end, it doesn't matter if it's mental illness or you're just evil, or you allow evil to get in. Joe believes when you're mentally ill, you can more easily be, if you're prone to that, you can be more susceptible to allowing evil forces to get in, which, now I've just told you, but I've told you before, yes, Joe believes in that. He believes in the evil forces and archons and all that crap. They also get into you when you drink or do drugs, you know, when you alter your consciousness. Joe used to warn me about that. He knew I was choosing to alter my consciousness with alcohol. Not just having a couple of drinks either, to the point of getting you drunk enough. Not out of my mind drunk, but I mean, not since I've had to, you know, be responsible for the old senile pug mind. It's not his blindness that's the problem now, though. It's his dementia or Alzheimer's making him obsess over standing up when he has nowhere to go anyway. Nowhere to go. Can't you just relax? You'd be fine. I'd be fine if you could just relax in your pen. Is that a fart? Is that a fart? I don't think you're gonna poo-poo. Maybe you'll poo-poo soon. I don't know. You poo-pooed this morning. You didn't poo-poo for a long time. Just pee. So I know, even though I don't give him that much, I give him extra water here and there, not much, but he gets plenty of water in his food. You do 2 ounces of water per 2 ounces of food. I give him 8 or 9 ounces of food, a cup or a little bit more a day, about. He's getting all that water, plus I give him some extra water here and there. Some sites say you should give him an ounce per pound of body weight, so he would get 13 ounces of water a day. But then some will say it only can be just a half ounce. Omar doesn't do anything strenuous, you know. Be half ounce, and then he'd only need, so he gets more water than he would need. So I don't worry if he doesn't get quite 13, you know what I mean? He's not doing anything strenuous, not even going for a walk. He goes around in circles, so we don't walk anymore. We just, if he won't go straight, you just go in circles, I just let him go in the walkway and the driveway. He also sometimes, as you know, goes to the bathroom out on the deck. If I'm not dressed, if I know he's going to pee on me, which he sometimes does because he has to go back because we've both been sleeping. Today I took him out quickly when we got up at 12 out on the deck, and he peed like immediately, but I almost had to pee next to him. So we do both, but he doesn't do anything strenuous, so he doesn't have to have 13 ounces of water a day. He gets enough water, trust me, it's fine. He pees a lot, he's good. As I said, for many, many months now, many months, perfect bowel movements, perfect. Not one speck of diarrhea. I don't know how long his parents, Sir Omar Lou and I mean, Omar, Sir Pugsley Lou. I don't know how long Omar's parents, Sir Pugsley Lou and Brooke V, lived. There's no way for me to know that, but Omar came from good genes. He's always been, kept him healthy, but he also I think he came from good genes, like asshole eggs. We picked you out of a perfect patch of pugs, and then his sister was famous out on YouTube. I use famous in quotations, but yeah, she was one of those famous pugs out on YouTube, and I saw her once. It was his older sister. She was famous for dressing up in clothes and just looking cute. Okay, we've got 2 more minutes. Yeah, I don't know. His parents, he's purebred AKC, remember, and his parents were Brooke V and Sir Pugsley Lou. That's how come Omar is Sir Omar Lou, but I don't call him that. I call him Omar. Call him a lot of things. Call him Mama's Love. Call you Mama's Love. Sir Pugs a lot. Pug bug. Yeah, that's a good one. Pug bug. Pugalopolis. My favorite might be Pugalopolis. Donald deserved to be hurt and lose Omar, Everything he did to me. I didn't steal Omar, he's my dog. My dog.